melanated match. It's unexplainable. It's unconditional. It's unforgettable. Unstoppable. So intentional. It's so invitable. Indescribable.
Oh, hello, and welcome to his
and her
perspective. And here at His and Her Perspective, we find common ground to harmonize relationships. And we do that by having conversations like we're going to have today. We do this every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we come before you. I am Coach Michelamonè for those who are new, and this is...
I'm Coach... There we go. I'm Coach Vaun, the Love Alchemist. In the flesh.
There's something new I just sprang on him, right? So
I wasn't ready.
You weren't ready. You gotta stay ready. You always stay ready, man. Stay ready, right?
You ain't gotta get ready, right?
I know, right? Today we're gonna talk about, is manipulation controlling your relationship? That is going to be a hot topic. And since it is, we're asking that you go ahead and click the share button, do a watch party, do something, but make sure that you're subscribing, you're saying something, and you're sharing. Why? Because sharing is caring. We missed y'all last week. I missed you last week, brother. How have you been?
Likewise, I missed you too, kiddo. Man, I've been doing good. Been doing good. How about yourself?
I have been doing absolutely amazing. This has been a great time. So I'm doing good. I'm doing good over here.
You got an extra big smile on your face. You hit the lottery or something? What's going on?
I think I did. I'll tell you about the jackpot when I pay out.
That's what's up.
That cash out.
Yes, indeed.
But yes, my status got changed a little bit. Yep. Yes, it's been beautiful. It is. I am blissfully happy, y'all. Blissfully happy. Yeah. Over here. Y'all see me? Y'all see them cheekbones? They shining right there.
I'm still having trouble doing a watch party over here. Have you been able to do it yet?
Let me see. Let me check it out. See what's going on. Let's see. They say going live. Let's see. Oops. Hold on. I don't want to. I'll tell you about the jackpot when I pay out. How we do that? Okay, quiet. There we go. Let's see if it's gonna let share and do a watch party. No, it won't let me. Yeah. Nope. They tripping. I think that they don't want us to do. They don't want us. They know they know who we are.
They know what it is.
Hey, Tennille. She said hello to us over there. Hi, Yarly from Yarly Bond from Brunswick, Georgia. We got Tennille over here. Hello. Hey, Desi. Hey, sister. How are you? Sister niece.
Yep, that's what it is.
So listen, let's get into today's stuff here. So let's move into today's couples, the couple that is winning for the week. Let me go ahead and bring that up to our stream here. And where did it go? There we go. Who is this beautiful couple, brother?
All right. Today's couple in the His and Her Perspective spotlight, Mr. and Mrs. Garthian and Andrea Muhammad. They've been together for 24 years. They have 6 children and 4 grandchildren. And one of the reasons that I highlighted them, or I should say the primary reason that I highlighted them, is because they work together and they work very well together. And you find so many couples that are struggling and needing so much time apart, but they have an awesome synergy as they work together. They have a relationship show like ours.
Yeah.
And they come on. As a matter of fact, they come on after us tonight. I think around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, something like that.
Yes.
It's called Becoming Better. So if you're available, tune in to Brother Garthian and his lovely wife Andrea Muhammad. But they shine, y'all. They shine.
Yeah.
Chemistry is beautiful. And so salute to the Muhammads.
God bless you to you both. They are an amazing couple when their visual cast like ours is it's amazing. Y'all need to tap into that. Make sure that you do check them out. Congratulations, Garthians. I love
Mhm.
it. All right. So let's do I want to talk today about what's in the news. So there's some things, here we are, for those who celebrate Valentine's Day. Today is happy Valentine's Day for those who do and who don't. I'm sorry, but
Well, hold on. The cultural alternative to Valentine's Day is Akoma Day.
Akoma Day.
It's a
Okay,
cultural.
tell us.
So Akoma Day, it's the culturally significant celebration or expression of love. So Black love. So again, it's the cultural alternative. My brother Montasho, Manwasha, EDU. The Edus. They are the originators of the Akoma Day. So
I love it. I love. I have to check that out. You got to text me information about that so I can look up that because I'm telling you, anything we can bring up to celebrate for us, I want to definitely do it.
yeah, it's dope. It's real nice.
Yes. So today I want to talk about this whole COVID dating thing. They say that COVID messed up people's dating lives. Mine wasn't. Great. Okay. I'm sorry. You know how we are on here. We gotta,
Yep.
pat ourselves
Yep.
on the back every now and then. So that was me, okay? There are a few people in quarantine, however, that didn't give up on their idea of finding love. And so singles have been forced to change the way that they find the one, right? So it's led to this whole new host of dating slang. So I want to talk about some of this dating. It's like 10 different things. So if you're single and you're not up to the latest trends, you might want to listen up. Make sure that you hear these things because you might hear them on your online dating profile somewhere. So some of this dating slang includes zumping, as in Z for Zoom. It's being dumped on Zoom. Okay. Zombieing, a form of ghosting, corona zoned, the act of keeping a relationship socially distanced and not physical due to worries over catching the virus, lock blocked, canceling or rescheduling dates due to lockdown rules and restrictions, Onomi, a form of online socializing where couples drink together online, FODA, which stands for fear of dating again, or which is a form of anxiety for people who have been out of the dating game due to lockdowns. Quarantine Bay, a couple who is dating exclusively during the pandemic. Quarantine Ship, Quarantine Ship, a relationship that started during lockdown and developed virtually. And Smugsulation, a couple showing off their happy relationship on social media at a time when it's difficult for so many to find love. So they over there being all smug and telling everybody about their business, being all happy, right? So that's some of the things that's happening in this whole online dating thing. If y'all don't know about it, y'all better get up on it because y'all gotta be in online dating because it's still quarantine.
Right.
So let's move on in today's topic. Let's see who else came in. When you talk about changing batteries doesn't count, what we miss? Did we miss something?
I think he was talking about your you not falling off during the dating problems of COVID.
So changing batteries is in personal machinery.
Yeah, that's what
he never fails to like give some shock value for every show. Yes, really, it must be some millennium. Yeah, it is. It is. You have to admit. Yeah, but some people that our age, Yardley, are doing some Zosting. Okay, they are definitely doing or zombieing or whatever they call it. Whatever. I can't keep up. It's too much to stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's get into today's topic. We're going to talk about is manipulation controlling your relationship. So, brother, let me give you this survey and then let's kick this off. So they say 55% of people have been in some form of abusive relationship between the ages of 17 and 24. What's your thoughts process of that? Because manipulation is really a form of abuse. They really call it a form of violence.
Like psychological violence?
Psychological.
Emotional violence?
Yes. It can turn into sexual violence. Manipulation can. It can even turn into some physical violence because of how you treat people. So, yeah.
Let me ask you this. see, how do I want to frame this? Uh, is manipulation always a bad thing?
Well, now that's the thing. I think that it really would then determine what's your motive,
Okay. Okay.
because I think that if your motive is for good, then I think that we all manipulate
So you're saying you can manipulate in a good way or in a positive, constructive way?
in a positive constructive way. Yeah. And I would like to call that influence.
Yeah, that's another way of saying it.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, I mean, if you are influencing someone for your own personal results, and it's not necessarily. So let me say it this way: I'm gonna admit right now, live on TV, that I manipulate my wife. I said it. I manipulate my
Get it
wife.
out loud.
And look, she in the comment section too. Watch this. There are things that I want from my wife. Like people like to pretend like relationships are not, at least transactional on at least some level, right? But I think every relationship is at least somewhat transactional.
She said,
Right?
"No, you don't."
Look,
And she put 3 exclamation points
watch this.
behind
Watch this. Look, it's the kind of thing where if you be nice to me, I'll be nice to you.
it. Right.
But there are things that my wife wants from me. There are things, and so I know that if I give her what it is that she wants from me, I'll also get in return what I want from her.
Right.
So, in a sense, you know, manipulation has a negative connotation, but it's not necessarily always negative.
Right.
See, so it's really, if you just think in terms of being a potter and you have clay, right?
Right.
You can shape and mold or manipulate that clay to bring about the result that you want. And
Right.
there are ways that I influence my wife. There are ways that she influences me, and it's really you could even say that we're taking care of each other in ways that we both know the other appreciates being taken care of, and the return on that investment is what the other person wants. Like in other words, I know that if I just stop doing the things for my wife that I know she enjoys, chances are at some point she's probably going to stop doing for me the things that she knows I enjoy.
Right.
Right. So is that a form of manipulation, or do you think I'm overstating it? Y'all in the chat, y'all family, help me out. Is that a form of manipulation, or am I overstating it? What do you think?
I'm actually want to go to the actual definition to
Yeah.
see what we got, because sometimes we overlook what the definition is because we have a negative connotation to what it is already in our minds, right?
Mhm.
So the manipulation is the act of manipulating something in a skillful manner, the act of manipulating something in a clever or unscrupulous way. So let's see. Let's look for manipulate.
So it said in an unscrupulous way. So it means
That's the second one.
okay.
To handle or control, typically in a skillful manner. Or number 2 is control or influence a personal situation cleverly, unfairly, and unscrupulously. So if we use that negative connotation that goes along with that definition, then yeah, we gonna talk about we influence our people.
But I don't think that manipulation necessarily means something bad.
Yeah.
I don't know, and maybe I don't know, maybe is it semantics? Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but
I think that it really is, and I think that a lot of words get one. Let me say this: one, I believe that people are just not as honest to say that. You know what I'm saying? They
Okay.
won't be able to. They don't live in their truth to be able to say, "Hey, we're manipulating each other to get what we want. We're really compromising to get what we want."
Yeah.
You do for me, I do for you. Scratch your back, I scratch. That's really what that is. But when you I love the example that you use with the clay, because that's what it is. You're manipulating the clay. When they tell you to go into that pottery class, they tell you that they use that word, manipulate it the way that you want it so that it can move the way that you want it. You get the, all that stuff going on. So I think because we have this negative connotation of what manipulation is, that we automatically go, oh, no, you didn't, But when we think about what influencing is, it is that.
Yeah.
And we're either going to be influenced in a good way or influenced in a bad way, but we're being influenced yet nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah. And even in your Yardley said, you can't use manipulation for good because its intent is to produce a outcome that is favorable for one at the detriment of the other. Now watch this. When you want your child to do something, if you get all A's, I give you $20.
Yep.
That's manipulation, but you're manipulating them for their betterment. Really,
Yep.
It's still manipulation.
Yeah.
But and you don't really, as a matter of fact, it's lose-lose for you because you're manipulating them for their benefit, and you have to give them money.
Give them something, because that's one of the triggers. Emotional blackmail. I'll do this if you do that.
Right.
So I really think that it really depends on the motive of the person, because you can take something really good and still turn it into something bad.
Yep.
You can like it was one that I said, like when somebody wants to, they joking with you, right? It may be innocent joking, but depending on who that person is, that joking could turn into the manipulation because they're trying to sideswipe you without you looking.
Yeah.
So I think that really we have to really determine who the people are, which is why I tell my clients all the time, when you look at your partner and you're trying to figure out if they're coming for you, think about who they are. Did you really get into a relationship with somebody that's coming for you on a regular, which is why you got to bring up this defense wall where every time they say something to you going, but if you have in your mind, this person loves me, this person is going to be with me, and I want to be with this person. So why would I think that they're trying to come for me?
Right.
Same thing, right? Yep. So, yeah. So I mean, I think it's kind of like tomato,
Yeah. Now the other side though, there is a very dangerous side, a very ugly side of manipulation for sure.
Right. Very.
And oftentimes, look, Yardley said, never negotiate with terrorists, aka kids.
That's true, because I swear they are terrorists.
Yeah. But I mean, even I'll just stay on this for a second. Even most of us grew up getting the paddle to our backside, the belt or whatever.
Yeah.
And so if you didn't bring home the grades that you were supposed to get, you got beat. Is that manipulation?
Yeah. It is.
We gonna mold you all right.
That's exactly what that is. And we have to keep in mind that's exactly what we're doing. You just got to you got to know what your motive is and things. But let's talk about this negative side of it, because we want people to be aware of what to look for, because everybody doesn't have your best interest at heart. So what do you look for when somebody's manipulating you and they're trying to get out of you, so that as Yardley says, for the favorable or the detriment of the other? Pay attention to the signs. There's 3 stages of manipulation. There's discovery. There is discovery of the weaknesses, using the weaknesses against you, and then rinse and repeat. Well, repeat, no rinse, because they're not getting away. So you pay attention to those things. They're going to find out a lot about you up front. Ask all these questions. And I want to be very clear. This doesn't happen all the time. I don't want people to walk around on eggshells trying to figure out people. You need to use your discernment, figure out whatever you call it, Holy Spirit, your gut, your whatever you got, right? Intuition, whatever you call it. Make sure that you're listening to that, because it will tell you if something's not right. We just got to stop ignoring it. Really? As if my daughter do not know that I'm on this thing every single Sunday, right?
You're gonna have to manipulate her with a punishment.
Right. At 24 almost.
Punishment. Arinthio Scott says men are analytical, but women use foresight. She will say, do this or else. You think she's trying to manipulate you, but she sees the seriousness of the matter. What do you think
I
about
love
that?
that. I love that. And that's true. Which is where that favor come in at when you catch hold to her and you open up that, unlock that treasure, that favor comes in, and that is now used for your benefit, for you to be able to see, because she can see past some things.
Yeah.
Yarley says, no, it's called being tactile influency. It's called tactile influency. You using what they call it, not army, military stuff.
No, capital, is it corporal punishment?
Right.
Is it capital punishment or is it corporal punishment?
Corporal punishment. Is it?
I
know it's a whooping butt whooping. That's what I know it was. And go get your switch. Switch. How they gonna make us go get our own weapon?
What you gonna do about it though?
Well, I guess that's what they did to Christ. They made him carry his own weapon.
Wow.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that, so there's some other stuff. So people that are typically manipulated are people that don't want to be alone, where they just find themselves always looking to be with somebody. They have an unhealthy desire to please, meaning that you're pleasing at the detriment of yourself. And so you don't have the assertiveness, and the whole low self-esteem, of course, lack of identity, and fear of confrontation, because you're not going to confront this person for treating you some kind of way. So that's going to cause them to feel like, oh, we got you. I'm going to be able to take over you and do what I want to do with it.
Yeah. And there are people who can't stay in a relationship unless they're in a relationship with someone they can manipulate.
Yeah. Called covert narcissism.
Yeah. And
or overt.
And that word gets thrown around a lot. And so I want to try to add a little bit of clarity as to what that word, the difference between a narcissist and
narcissistic behavior.
Yeah. So I think the biggest difference, one way that you can make the distinction when you found a narcissist, is a narcissist lacks empathy. So they might cause you all kinds of pain. Like there are people who might cause you pain, they might hurt you, and then they feel some genuine remorse behind that pain that they caused you. A narcissist doesn't care.
Right.
And I think that's the biggest difference. A narcissist lacks empathy.
Yeah. But I guess the reason why it gets thrown around like that is because people during the time of them going through it, they're most likely are saying, why are you treating me this way? And that other person is just still doing it. So they think that they lack empathy. But you really, to be called a narcissist, they really have to be it's a clinical term. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't pay attention to that. We throw the word around because it helps us to identify with what's happening. And the last thing that most people want psychologically, they don't want to be in a situation that they can't name.
Yeah.
So they're finding that, like, okay, what is this? Why am I being this way? And it can't be me. I can't just be giving up, my whole being to this person, and they're treating me this way. So it has to be something that they have been skilled at, right? And they think that, so that's why they call it that.
Mm-hmm. And it's a buzzword. It's a popular term now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So Yarley says, want child support, want their bills paid, want to trap the person in an unhealthy relationship. Yeah, that's a lot of that. It's a lot of that. Yeah. I mean, it happens on both sides, women and men.
So let me ask you this: is gaslighting? That's another one of those new terms, right? Is gaslighting a form of manipulation?
It is, actually. It is. That is one of the things, pretending not to say things or making you feel like you're crazy because they said something, and you're like, but you said, no, I didn't. But yes, you did. No, I didn't. Or they say, well, you're the one who said that. or remember, this is your idea. That's gaslighting.
Right.
Mhm. Yeah. So people need to pay attention to that. I'm telling you. And these things can really get to the place where you feel like people feel like they crazy.
Yep.
And they're trying to figure out what is happening, because it's like, is it just me? And like I won't say which one, but I'll say one of my ex-husbands was very, very, he had narcissistic behavior. And I think that he was not empathy. He didn't have the empathy either. But it was always things like he would get really quiet. Like there had got to the point where he would videotape me when I would just go up, because he would take me there. So he would just sit there with this video camera videotaping me. So then one day I said, well, I'm gonna record you too. So I didn't have the video because I changed phones, but I still had the audio. And I listened to this audio once, right? And I'm telling you, if I did not know better, I would have thought I was crazy. Because I'm listening to him. He's all calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, but what do you mean? He's like, I don't understand. I mean, like, why are you getting upset about this?
Yeah.
And I remember the day, I know exactly what was happening. I could see his body language in my head while I was listening to this, because he had this look like, this thing. And so his body, all of that takes into account the body language, how people are saying things, that passive aggressiveness that happens, and it would make you think you're crazy.
Yep. And he was playing on the fact that he knew you were recording.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You thought you were going to record. You thought you were recording an argument real time, and he was playing with you the whole time.
Playing with me the whole time. It was like, I was like, I mean, and this was years later, because I had just recently found it, probably the end of last year. And I was sitting there going, had I not known better, I would think I was the crazy one.
Yardley said, embrace the crazy.
You know what? Crazy sometimes help you, Yardley. Sometimes it's helpful. You got to make sure somebody know you crazy. Got that little itch, right? So that they don't mess with you.
Yep. You gotta have that little twitch to keep them honest.
Gotta have that twitch, So hey, you better keep it right, keep it tight,
okay.
Right?
Here's a question.
What's up?
I'm sorry. Were you going to ask another one?
No, go ahead.
This is a question for the family and for you. What keeps people in manipulative relationships? What keeps people in manipulative relationships? Did you answer that already?
No, but that's actually one of the things I was going to go into, because talk about the abuse side of it. It's abuse.
So what would keep a person?
And so people that are being earlier, I think
Go ahead.
What happened?
I think you froze for a half second, but you good.
I think we're delayed.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. So what keeps them in it is it's an abuse syndrome, if you will. And so they're trying to figure out why this is happening. They're trying to think that is it their fault? They're going through these processes in their minds that is hoping it'll get better. It's really no difference than somebody physically abusing you. Well, I'm gonna give them another chance, where they really can't be that bad, or this is my fault. Maybe it's something with me. And so the keys to the stems to that would be low self-esteem, lack of confidence, lack of identity, understanding who they are, feeling codependent, things of that sort, and really not even recognizing that they're really being abused.
Orinthio said that's why it's very important to communicate with your mate before it gets out of hand. The common trait of a manipulator is they're always right, and something is wrong with you.
Yeah,
they want you to make them happy, but they're not willing to reciprocate.
Yep.
Heavy.
Very much so. And that's so true, because if somebody's into you, or you into somebody and they're not into you, that's a sign.
Yeah.
And you got to check that, because it's something that needs to be checked right away. And it's like you said early on, because I really don't believe that people are naturally just mean and manipulative. I think that sometimes they find themselves mirroring some things that somebody else may have done to them. And so it's kind of like, being in an abusive relationship, whether it be in physical abuse, mental abuse, sexual abuse, and things of that sort. Many abused people end up being abusers.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily something that they really want to do, but they've been trained to do that. So a person that really cares for them and loves them would be willing to say, hey, don't do that. We gonna check that out,
Yeah.
and work through that thing with them. But if they continue on after you trying to work with them, then you might need to vacate yourself, because that's a part of who they are. So you have to figure out if that's who they are, or if they're doing this because it's attached, that spirit attached itself to that person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Yarley said. Sometimes they don't know, sometimes they don't care, sometimes they like it. That's very true. All three of those things can be a situation.
Yeah. There are people who actually get joy out of causing you frustration.
Yeah.
When I was in the Navy, I there was this group of guys, and I remember I was going on watch to stand watch, and this one guy who was already on station when I got there, there was another guy that was supposed to be coming in shortly after me, and the guy that was already there, he said, "Hey man, you want to see me spin up whatever his name was? Let's say his name was Johnson. You want to see me spin Johnson up?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" "I'm gonna piss him off. Watch this." I said, "Piss him off for what?" Like I wasn't catching on to what he was talking about.
Right.
He just wanted to upset him for the sake of seeing him upset.
Yeah.
And I understand it, but it's senseless. It really is senseless. But there are people who get a high off of making you miserable.
Yeah.
And some of us are in relationships with these people.
Yeah. Yeah. And they don't know, either they don't know how to get out, they don't know how to get the help, or they are oblivious to it, and they're just thinking that it's just going to get better without, because that's one of the things, the fear of confrontation. They're not going to confront that issue. They're not going to confront that situation, because I think that you confront the enemy, he got to go. He don't get to stay. Right. And that goes for that spirit of manipulation. So if you confront that thing, you got to say something and not be fearful that it's going to cause issues later on, if you will, for lack of better terms.
Yeah, and that takes courage.
It does.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Rika says, "Yep, I was confused, which is why I stayed, trying to prove I was not what he was saying I was. So much confusion." You are absolutely right. And that is one of the biggest things, though, with people trying to stay to try to, well, let me just overcome what they're saying, because it's not true.
Right. And they got you thinking that they really believe it's what they're saying it is, and they're just manipulating you with what they know is untrue, but they know they can get the response out of you that they intend to get. And it's really insane. I think, man, it's some people out here that they should be clinically diagnosed, and they should be forced to get a clean bill of health before they can even enter another relationship.
You walking around with your CDC card.
Yeah,
you now be in a relationship.
Yeah, I mean, that we'll never get to that point, but I'm saying, man, I want to know that you all right. If I was single out here today, boy, I need some, what they call it, like when you go get a loan from the bank, they want character references and
collateral.
Yeah, I need to meet some of your people to make sure that they say you all right.
Man, I tell you, back in the day, you weren't worried about those types of things, but during this time, people have to be aware of who you're dealing with, what you're dealing with, because if you don't pay attention, somebody could slide up on you and you have no idea who they are. But I think that especially women, we need to really tap into that discernment. Mm-hmm. And not be afraid to use that discernment and say something when something doesn't feel right to us. And a lot of times we don't, because we got this fear, especially women who have been single for a while, or they feel like that, this is their last chance, and different things like that. They wonder, they don't want to say certain things because they think that if I say something, then this person's going to go away. And don't let nothing like that fear, because if whoever God brings or allows in your life is supposed to be there, they'll be there. As simple as that.
Look, we had a young lady come to stay with us for a little while,
Mm-hmm.
She was pregnant,
Okay.
and she had fallen out with her people, and it was my daughter's friend, my daughter's best friend at the time, and she asked us if she could stay with us for a little while. So we
Okay.
said yeah. And as we're talking with this young lady, interacting with, just kind of helping her through the situation, she started telling us about the child's father,
Mm-hmm.
the guy who had gotten her pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I don't know why I stayed with him. You know, when I met his mother, she said his mother told her, she said, I love my baby. You know, she said, but I'm telling you, if you want a serious relationship, he is not the one for you.
Wow.
Now, her his own mom, that goes back to what I was just saying about these character witnesses, right? These character references. And the mama told her that before she even got pregnant.
Mm.
And
Wow.
she ignored it, and now she's raising that child alone.
Wow. Wow. And if his own mama said something and she ain't listened to his mama,
His
because
own
mama's boys, sometimes boys are mama's boys and they don't feel like nobody's good enough for them. So the fact that she was saying, boy, girl, you better leave him alone. And she didn't listen. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem.
You
So,
had one comment that you had highlighted down there.
yeah. So Yarley says, I had a similar experience with a past friend when I realized it. I really enjoyed the soul fulfilling, tactile influencing that changed the perspective of the rest of his life.
Hmm.
I get it. We both said that same time.
Yeah. Y'all,
Hey,
y'all real deep on it.
brother, how you doing?
Peace, Garthian. Salute our couple of the week.
Yes, there
Yeah,
they go.
yeah.
So I really want a little bit of clarity on that, Yardley. Like, what do you mean you really enjoyed the soul fulfilling, tactile influencing that changed the perspective of the rest of his life?
Yeah, while we wait on his response, I'm gonna read Arinthio's comment. He says, "Women need to listen more and talk less, because he will tell you who he is. Just listen."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just listen.
You know that I tell my daughter, what women talk too much on dates when you're trying to get to know guys. You should be asking questions. You set it up and let him knock it down.
That's it.
You set him up and he'll knock him down. You should be asking questions. You should be probing. And really, men should be doing that too. People crazy don't know gender, right?
Right.
You got crazy men and crazy women out here, but it should really be like almost like an interview process as you get to know whoever it is that you're dealing with, because people are nuts. But to his point, to the point Arinthio just made, I think it really is in women's best interest to, especially if you're serious about a relationship, you
Right.
should be asking questions.
Lots of questions. And if they have a problem with you asking questions, then you should walk away fast. I mean, like turn and run. I mean, like fast, like don't even go past go, just turn and go. Right. Because if you're not, if they are feeling uncomfortable because you're asking questions, or they say something like, this is a perfect sign of manipulation. Man, I feel like I'm in an interview. Or man, why you what's the word when you interrogating me?
Yeah.
Those are clear signs that you're dealing with a manipulator.
That, you know what, we should do a show about that, where or at least make sure we set aside a discussion where we're talking about different things that you should be asking someone during the dating process,
Yeah, we'll do that.
because there are some very key things that aren't being discussed, and some very important things are being found out way too late.
Way too late.
So yeah, you just wrote that down, huh?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, we can do that.
Garfield says, exactly, you must ask questions, otherwise you find out after the feel-good music has stopped playing. Absolutely. When you done got all out the gushiness, now you're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
very much so. You got to ask those questions.
Yep.
You got to, and not be afraid. I mean, I'm talking about some questions that you don't. And I talk about this with my clients, who I have clients that are several couples that I'm coaching right now that are either been married for a while, some ones that are looking to get married, and some that are already engaged, but they're trying to figure out how to more effectively communicate. And most of the ineffectiveness in communication comes from you having two different views that you have not been able to marry. right? You haven't been able to bring those things harmoniously together to be able to say, hey, even though we have different perspectives, we're still walking down the same street. We kind of still understand how each other is feeling, but we're not going to push our views off on each other. And so pushing those views off will be manipulation. And so a lot of people don't realize that they don't have the same views about different situations. And what I do is I roll through my clients, ask them things like, what is marriage? You know, what does that mean to you? Where did you get those views? Things of that sort. Yeah. Because you have to determine what that person is thinking, because then you don't know how those expectations are going to fall. You know, if this person thinks that marriage is, hey, I just provide, I don't help with the kids, I don't help with the household bills, I don't help this, and you over here saying, well, I'm cooking and cleaning, I'm working and everything, and he paying the bills, but still, I mean, man, I can't get no help with the kids. Well, because y'all got two different views, and y'all haven't even decided how, y'all don't even know what that is because you haven't had that conversation.
Right.
You know.
Right. Even something as basic as what does it mean? What is manhood and what is womanhood? So if you, and I used this example before, but you know, if you're in a relationship with a young lady as a man, you're in a relationship with a woman who thinks that you're not a man unless you fix your own car. Mm-hmm. You can fix the things around the house yourself, because that's what my daddy always did. And if you're not doing that, then you're not measuring up. And so in your mind, if you're the type of guy that, hey, you know, I make enough money to pay for it, I can't do it myself. Maybe I'm an accountant, right? Maybe I'm good with numbers, but I'm not good with my hands.
Right.
You know, and in your mind, you're handling business as the man of the house, right?
Right.
But in her mind, you ain't got no calluses. You ain't no man. And so these are ideas that don't marry in a relationship where you don't measure up to her idea. And even vice versa, there are things, same thing. If you're not cooking and cleaning, then you ain't no real woman. Like there are guys who think like that. Mm-hmm. You know, and so these are discussions that should be had prior to getting serious in a relationship. Look,
absolutely.
We definitely got to do that show.
Yeah, we'll do that. So Garthian says, this is why it is really called courtship. Take one another to court. I love that.
Yep.
I love that. And that's what you got to do. And but so many people, especially women, because we've got these numbers, right? It's more men than it is women now. And, you know, either we're battling with, you know, different men being in jail or the men being homosexual. So there's these single Black women don't have the numbers, right? So they're like afraid. And you can't be that. You cannot be afraid to, because this is the thing. I would rather be by myself than in a chaotic, unresting, unpeaceful relationship with anybody that cannot come in and make a harmonious situation. I'm not asking nobody to make me happy, because nobody can make you happy. You must do that for yourself. But they should be able to come in and harmonize and make things better. And if you cannot make things better with somebody, what's the point of you adding a +1? Because you shouldn't be saying 1 + 1 is 1.
Right.
Even though we wanted to come to 1, but you need to be saying it's 2 going to 1. We ain't going straight to 1. We go 1 + 1 is 2 going into 1. Yep. Don't go the other way, because then you're going to be sitting there trying to figure out why. No, they should not be trying to make you happy. That is the worst thing. That's the worst lie. I said this to my client a couple of days ago. The worst thing that we have been told is to treat people the way you want to be treated. Let me tell you why. If I don't know how to treat myself because I have low self-esteem, lack of confidence, and no identity, I'm not going to know how to treat you. You must treat people the way they need to be treated in order for you to then get what you need. Because if I don't know how to treat myself and I'm mistreating, I'm going to inevitably mistreat you too. Yeah. Which is why you got to be held. You got to be whole coming into this relationship.
Right. Some people say, if I don't love myself, how you expect me to love you?
You can't. You're a lie. Oh, I've been saying that people get mad. Like I've done seminars and people in the seminar, live seminars, be like, why would you say something that was dumb? No, dear. The second commandment of my Bible, I ain't gonna talk about nobody else. Tell me that in order for me to the second love my neighbor as I love myself. And if I don't love myself, I'm a lie telling you I love you.
Now, that's got some layers to it too, boy, because we have people have some unhealthy ideas about what it means to love yourself.
Yep.
Arinthio said he was going back to the previous topic we were on. He said, if you're not engaged within 6 months and married within 1 year, they're wasting your time. What do you think about that? Engaged within 6 months and married within 1 year, they're wasting your time. What do you think about that?
I think depending on the age.
Okay.
I think that once you hit 40, yeah. Before then, you still got some work to do. But I think that by the time you hit 40 and you've been through several relationships, you should know what you want and what you don't want. And so people should be able to make those decisions rather quickly, because a man's gonna know. He knows if he's grown enough to know what he's dealing with, he's gonna know who you are very quickly. Or he's gonna know if he gonna put you in his pocket, make you the pocket girl till you find out what he's really looking for.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I mean, and when we meet women, there's only two categories: wife material, not wife material.
That's it. That's it. And so when you're spending years with the same person that you're going up and down, and I don't know if we want to marry, y'all figured it out a long time ago. Y'all just wasting time now, right? So either you're going to learn how to come together by getting some coaching and getting somebody to help you to effectively communicate, to bring those things out. Because I want to be clear. It could be some things that have transpired in there to make you back up. But if you thought about that and you're backing way out like that, then you definitely don't want to get in it. Because if you cannot stand firm, you got to think about this. If you would have got married and you'd have to go through those things, do you back all the way out because things didn't go your way?
Right.
And that's why, like I did earlier last year for my coffee and coaching, I did a video about relationships and talked about some of the relationships that people had started out, got married in 3 weeks, and they've been together for 83 years or 60 years or 50 years. And this is not for everybody. Everybody can't do that. But if you get into a relationship and you're growing, you find out who that person is, you like who they are, you see their character, you watch and you study, because you got to watch and study. The word says watch and pray, right? Watch, study, and pray these people, right? And when you see who they are, if you got married and stop trying to trial it out, then you get to go through those things with that person and learn them in that. And it doesn't have this thing where, well, I just get out of it if it don't work. No.
And people will even look, just keep in keeping with the topic. People will even use that marriage factor or your desire to be married. They'll use that to manipulate you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you got to know what that looks like, because if they're talking the talk, but they're not doing nothing about it, and you sitting up here looking up a year later, but y'all been talking about it since day one, and they haven't asked you yet. Later, right? Hey, Brother Jackson.
D, what up?
Sometimes people are afraid of leaving because of the unknown. They're miserably comfortable with that person. That is the truth. Addicted to that situation.
Hey, we need a bomb sound. We need to get some sound effects.
We got to get some sound effects, right? Because that was hot. Yarly says you must go through the 4 seasons of a relationship, and that's very true.
What were those 4 seasons again, Yarly? Break that down. What was that again?
Yeah. So
do you remember it?
Well, I didn't talk about. He talked about his and what he was thinking, but I'm still working on my book, y'all. It's gonna come out. I promise y'all, it's coming. It's almost finished. But I personally think that the winter. Let's go back to where it starts. Here you go with the spring. The spring is when it's all nice and you just met and everything is beautiful and it smells fresh, right? Then you go through the summer where it's hot And all the things you get the relationship heating up. You might have, find somebody where they're passionate about certain things. Then you go through that autumn season where they're building, right? In that building process of who they are and what they look like in the building stages. Are they anxiety filled? Do they yell at you? Do they treat you some kind of way because they're building? Right, as well as when in that winter stage when things kind of cool off, and do you lax out and just don't do nothing and work towards it? So those types of things, and I don't think that they really have a time limit on it. Mm-hmm. We talk about seasons. They're not the seasons that go through, because you can go through seasons with a person. You can meet somebody, they can lose a family member, they can lose a job or gain a job, they can get some money or lose money. All these things could happen very quickly. How are they responding during this time? Are they getting frustrated with you? Are they treating you some kind of way? Do they back off and kind of disappear? You got to find those seasons in that person. You got to be able to see them cry, see them happy, see them at their worst, and see them at their best.
So it's not that you're judging them on the adversity. You're judging them by how they respond to the adversity.
Absolutely.
I can smoke a bag of that.
Because we all go through something, and you can't judge each other. We can't judge each other based off of what we're going through. It's how we respond to what we're going through and not reacting to what we're going through. Mm-hmm. Yarly says wife material or toxic material, or husband material or toxic material. Yarly, get up off of the ladies. You want to read that?
Yeah, go ahead. I said, Yarly says, to answer your question about the changing the perspective of the person I enjoy tactile influencing. He learned that I embraced the crazy, and we came to a mutual understanding that we can no longer be friends.
I understand.
I can dig it.
I get it. So, I mean, what was that?
They parted ways amicably.
Yeah. Well, I can't think of the saying in the church. It says it is actually a scripture. I wonder if First Lady is on here to tell me. Y'all know I don't know them verbatim. I know where to find them, right? But it says something about until we meet again, we part, and between me and you, I forgot the name of the scripture. Y'all, it's in there. It's in the word.
Is that the one where it says, "Lord, watch between me and thee while we're absent one from another"?
Thank you. Yes.
Well, I'm a church boy.
You know what? I don't know why I keep forgetting.
I used to be in the church choir. Can you believe that?
What?
Yeah,
well, you know what? I know you can sing.
Boy got pipes. Boy can do a little something.
Yeah. I know y'all can sing. You can sing. You and your wife can be singing over there.
Yeah,
it
might be time for another song.
Yeah, I think it's time. Y'all need to go ahead and bust out the song. Go in the bathroom studio.
You know what it is.
Faith, may the Lord watch between. Thank you so much, Faith. Y'all, I'm gonna get them right. Don't tell nobody I'm a minister. Shh.
Mm-hmm. Look, a minister with no Bible. You got to stop playing.
I bet you I can go find it though. Yeah. Shoot, let me have to call down the heavens. Boy, them scriptures be coming. So this is good, but I'm telling you, y'all need to check this out. There's a whole manipulation wheel that y'all can find, and it talks about minimization and blame, intimidation, sexual abuse, physical abuse, threats, domination, humiliation, and possessiveness. And it's all about the power and control of who you are. And then it goes into the physical, sexual, physical. So it breaks them down into these 4 quadrants. And it tells you how these things are used so that they become violent.
Is one gender more manipulative than the other? Are men more manipulative than women, or are women more manipulative than men?
I think it's the same. I don't think one is more than the other. Now, let me say this. I have been saying for years that when we're gifted with 2 gifts, we were gifted with the gift of persuasion, and we were gifted with the gift of discernment. That is what we have been wired with when we were made in our mama's womb. Bring the gift of persuasion over here, bring the gift of discernment, put it in the kid, right? That's how we were created. However, right, discernment turns into being nosy, and persuasion turns into being manipulative.
So that's the answer to the question then. You're saying women are more manipulative. Am I manipulating you right now?
Yes. Yep, you are, brother, manipulating me.
See, I'm not gonna let y'all the hook. I'm not gonna let y'all the hook that easy. You just told us that women are blessed, or I'm sorry, that their inherent gift is that of manipulation. I mean, persuasion.
Yeah.
So
that's what happened in the Garden of Eden. She manipulated that brother to take that fruit. She was like, baby, you don't see all this happening around here. Now, if you take this fruit, you gonna see everything. He was like, for real? Oh, that's what I've been missing. Come on over here, girl. So yeah, okay, fine.
Okay.
Yeah, let's say
you eloquently. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. You read it. Go ahead.
Coach M, you eloquently explained my four-season analogy, and I am not laying it on the ladies. I'm just taking it from the male point of view. My twine voice from the living color.
From living color. Fine, Yarly. Okay, fine.
So women. So just so that I'm clear, you're saying before God and everybody that women are the problem. I just want to make sure. I know I'm asking you for clarity on what you were saying. It sounded like to me.
I to be manipulative. I did not say no women was the problem. See, the real thing is, y'all don't want me to go there.
No, I mean, I'm in keeping with the topic, right? The topic is manipulation. And as it pertains to manipulation, you're saying women are the problem. Is that correct?
No. I am saying that some women use their gifts for bad. They use their gifts for bad.
Okay.
But for in defense of us women's, right? If Adam would have listened and not been hard-headed to what he was told, he wouldn't have been able to be manipulated.
That must be that. So that means the woman is very powerful. I mean, if you're gonna tell me that God said, and then he said, yeah, but Eve said.
Now let me say, let's talk about that for a moment, because we really need to let the women know that if you use your gifts for good, that's how much power you really have. Because if you're using it for good, it's going to work out for your good. You use it for bad, it's going to slam you into a wall. Okay. You're going to crash and burn. It might work for a little bit, but you're going to crash and burn later. But this is the thing. That's how much power we as women have, that we were able to convince the man not to do what God himself told her to do. And I had to express that like a pastor, what God told him to do, right?
GAWD.
GAWD. That's, So it's how much power you got, woman. If you know how to really be strategic. And being strategic, I love how my brother says you got to be an FBI. Feminine, beautiful, and intelligent. Trying to be a boss chick ain't gonna work.
Inspirational.
Okay, inspirational.
Yeah.
Inspirationally intelligent.
So that means you can inspire a man to do really almost anything you want him to do. And listen.
You know what?
This is also why it's imperative to choose the right woman, because, and I won't say that a woman can necessarily inspire you to do whatever. But,
not every woman, the right woman.
Right. But if you with the wrong woman, and if you tie yourself, you hit yourself to her wagon, she can inspire you to do some very detrimental things.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
And,
are.
and and I'll tell you, I'll give you a perfect, let me tell y'all how you can figure out if that's her. If you hitch to the wrong wagon.
Uh-oh.
If you are not living in your full potential, you're hitched to the wrong wagon because she's supposed to bring you favor.
Mm.
And if she's not bringing you the favor and you see yourself, you've been together for 10 years. I'm cutting some people right now. You've been together for 10 years, 5 years, and you do not see this happening to your life.
Mm.
Ladies, if your dude and you looking at him 5, 10 years in, and you don't feel like he growing, like you outgrew him, that's your fault.
Ooh, heavy.
Sorry.
Heavy. Wow, you stepped on some toes with that one, I'm
I got
sure.
some folk. It's bleeding, bleeding, bleeding over here. But that's real talk
Mm.
because you have been given the gifts to be able to do such a thing. But you got to be in the right position. That means that you got to be with the right guy and he got to be with the right woman. If y'all just forcing this to go and you putting that square in that circle, just all in the name of you just don't want to be lonely or you don't want to be by yourself and things of that sort, and you just picking up on something instead of using your discernment and your persuasion to get to be in right position to where you're supposed to be. Yeah.
Heavy. So women, Yardley says, I disagree. Everybody knows there's no such thing as talking snakes.
I came with you, Yarly. That was he was in this, he was doing it right.
Yeah. So manipulate him against his better judgment, and it's called responsibility and accountability.
Yeah.
Look, so there are also men who manipulate women, right?
Yeah.
Um, in what ways do men? So if women have the gift of persuasion, how is it that men are able to manipulate women?
Um, because of her lack of identity and knowing who she is.
Okay.
I've been there. Oh, I've been there. I've been there heavy, doing things and giving things and giving wifey duties or wifey benefits to somebody that had no way should have gotten those benefits ever.
So then, as a woman, if you fail to use your gift of discernment, then you fall victim or you open yourself up for
Yes.
your gift of persuasion being used against you.
Yep. Because you're out of alignment. When you're in alignment, when you're connected to the source that created you and you're connected to your what you've been wired to do, then you're going to cause those things to stir up your antennas going, wait, something ding, 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 something ain't right, something ain't right. But if you're not in alignment and you don't know who you are, because if you don't know who you are, you're out of alignment. If you don't know your purpose in this world, you're out of alignment. If you haven't figured out what you're here for, you're out of alignment. Because when you find out what you're here for, when purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable.
Mm.
So when you are now abusing yourself because you are out of alignment, you can absolutely have your gifts turned on you.
Wow. Boy, you said a
Been there,
mouthful. You said a mouthful.
been there.
We might need to do a show about purpose.
Yeah, I think we should do that too, so that people can, especially purpose within relationships. That's one of the things I ask my clients. Why are y'all doing this?
You see, because we look, we are getting there. Most of us, because we don't have a cultural way of dating and mating, right? We
Right.
talked about the sciences that were deprived of us of our culture, right? And
Mhm.
so the science of mating is one of those.
Yeah.
Many of these things that we're discussing today, like Yardley talked about the four seasons, we're talking about the gift of discernment and the gift of persuasion. Um, there is a science to mating. There are people who you absolutely should not be in a relationship just based on their inherent characteristics.
Right.
right? And there are people who align beautifully with who you are,
Right.
and the path that you're on and the journey that you're taking.
Right.
And but that has been stripped, and most of us are just getting together for companionship, right? And then, like we said before, we find ourselves in love with people that we don't even like.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. That's good right there. Really good. Yarley says, of course, men manipulate women with money, power, her lack of self-identity and esteem. And that is so true. You cannot, if she doesn't know who she is, she won't be able to see who he is. And vice versa. He doesn't know who he is, he won't be able to see who she is. And so that's why when you see people who come together and they instantly know, that's because they figured out who they were in themselves first, and then they went looking. But you got to find that. I think I had posted a post a couple weeks ago about being findable. Man, I wish I remember what that post was. But it was basically, that if you don't know who you are, you ain't ready to be found.
And look, like I'm gonna go back to the word you said, that the Bible says a man that finds a wife finds a good thing, right? That means right, but that also means that you're supposed to be a wife when he finds you.
Right. Yeah.
You don't become a wife just because he put a ring on your finger.
And right? It doesn't happen by osmosis.
Now look, to be one, you got to see one. And most women these days, especially in our community, have not seen what it means to be a wife.
Nope.
And on the flip side, our men are growing up not knowing what a wife looks like. So
what a husband looks like.
Or what a husband looks like. So we think, many of us, when we see a woman, we got to do it. Look, we got so many shows we could spit out. But look, we see a woman, if she fine, if she got the shape and the hair is the way we want it to be, we labeling her wife material. Yep. All based on the external, all based on the superficial.
Yep.
Right? Erroneously labeling her wife material. And I'm sure women are doing the same thing. If he's 6'2", got rock hard abs, and he pull up in a CL something with numbers and letters in it,
right?
She ready to call him hubby.
Call him hubby.
So yeah. Anyway,
instead of looking at his character and how his or her character and how they bring that peace, how they bring the affirmative part of their lives, how they build them up and strengthen them, how they can help them become the help me. Like I saw this post a couple weeks ago about a woman saying about help me. And do you think that a woman should still be a helpmeet in this day and age? And I was thinking, did it have a time expiration date on it where it was supposed to expire in 2021, that there is no longer a thing called helpmeet? Because when does that happen? We have gotten to the place where we're so bossed up that our femininity and the purpose and what we're supposed to be doing and how we're supposed to be doing it has been lost. It has been purely lost. And we're so busy. And I want to be very clear, because I am an entrepreneur, been one since I was 16 years old. I'm going to stay one until I leave this earth, which means I got to at times boss up, right? But I don't boss up to my man. Oh, he's going to get the feminine me. He's going to get the coy me. He's going to get the one that says, shut your mouth, Michelamonè. He's talking. He's going to get the one that's going to respect him, not because of what he did or did not do. In the door, I'm going to do that. And then we're going to talk about things that don't look respectable. So then we don't lose respect. And you're gonna have those effective communication so that it can stay that way. But it's a lot of things that we come in trying to control when he does things for us, when he doesn't, how he does it, if he gonna marry us, we walk in the door, men date, women walk in the door looking for a husband. Which means that we have these expectations of what he's supposed to be doing in the door. If he ain't providing for me, yeah, okay, he needs to be able to. Don't get me wrong. If that is what your thing is, whatever your thing is, everybody don't think that way. Some women want to be the provider. If that work for y'all, work for it. Work it out, right? But whatever your expectations are, You must be willing to do what it takes to maintain those expectations. Because if you want him to be a provider and you have problems with how he's providing and you don't trust him, he can't provide for you if you don't trust him.
Mm. Look, you know, a lot of these days, especially, you know, women have the list, right? And so you want what you want, right? Not you, but I'm saying in general, people want what they want. But I find that rarely are people asking, okay, well, yes, I want what I want, but what is it that he wants from me?
Absolutely.
And can I offer that so that I can then get in return what it is that I want from him?
Absolutely.
Or simultaneously, however you want to do the math. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So Yarley says, of course, we put that. Fire sale on garden tools, not household items. Yes, they're supposed to be a helpmeet to her man. You are right, Coach M. If I slay the dragons of the world, I don't want to slay the dragon at home. OMG. That is so submission equals trust. You're absolutely right. If you can't, this is a thing. And as a woman who has a son who still has her dad around, who these are alpha males. Man I'm with is an alpha male. You cannot think that you're gonna run up an alpha male and be an alpha female. Bring it down. Bring it down, sis. Stop trying to be alpha. Because what's happening is it is creating y'all gonna be mad when I say this. It is creating a very I just lost the word. Maybe I wasn't supposed to say it.
Competitive?
Nope.
Tension?
When something don't supposed to go. Dang, I lost the word. It ain't right.
Man, I wanted some controversy. I was waiting on that word.
Yeah, what's the dang on word? When something's not perversion.
Ooh, say more.
When you have an alpha female and an alpha male, it is perverted. Bring the alpha out of your female. You cannot do both. You cannot have two heads. It becomes a monster. And you're wondering why you bucking at each other, always arguing. You can't say nothing right. He can't say nothing right. You always wrong. He always, whatever the case may be. You've got to get to the place where you trust who you are with. If you do not trust who you are with, get some help to rebuild the trust or walk away. Simple.
Wow. Oftentimes we find that people don't trust who they're with because they have trouble even trusting themselves. People who have the greatest trust issues are often not trustworthy.
Come through. I'm telling you, that's a Selah moment right there.
Brother James Gifford in the building. What's up?
Hey, brother, how are you? Y'all check him out on his show after this too. Is it come on at 8 or is after Garthian or before Garthian?
It's before Garthian, the Judas Den. He comes on at 7, right, Brother James? I think he's
an awesome man of God. I'm telling y'all, men, if you want some good talk, Vaun, the Love Alchemist, is on there often. They talk about some really good stuff that the men need to know because men are not seeking help. These brothers are here to be able to help you all get through some of the things when your daddy wasn't there. If you got mommy issues, these are men that have these conversations that nobody's having. So y'all check into Vaun. Y'all check into Garthian. Y'all check into James. Y'all check into these brothers. Look for brothers that's going to be able to help you. As a matter of fact, I need y'all to do a show on headship.
Brother James, you hear that? He said we need to do a show on headship. That's a good one right there.
I need y'all to tell me when, because I got some clients that I'm going to refer over to listen to this headship, because what's happened is many of our men have not been brought up in the religious institution called the church and learned what the headship is because they are against it. So now we got to find out how to get them in the headship mindset without that institution, because they're not going there.
Mm.
And if they're not going there, they don't have the man in their household, they haven't had that example, they need somebody that's going to be able to share that information so that they can now disseminate it to their families. Because the reality of it is, I don't care what you call them, Allah, Buddha, the source, the God, whatever you call them, right? There is this entity that is over you. And the man is then under him, and then his wife and his children are there. And if he doesn't know how to be headship, he got his family all open. Rain coming in, storms coming in, all types of messes coming in. And he's wondering why his family is uncovered because he doesn't know how to do it. Please do that show, y'all.
Yeah, that's a good show. That's a real good show.
Mm-hmm. Yarly says alpha females become the side chicks and BM of alpha males, but will manipulate the beta males they will marry.
Wow, man.
That's good.
Celebrity couple came to mind when you said that, but
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah. So I mean, and I want y'all to know I am not talking out of my side of my neck. Y'all know my story. And for those that don't, go over to coachmichelamonè.com, check out the book, grab it, it's $20. I'll send it to you tomorrow. So I am not talking out the side of my neck to say, oh, well, you know what? She a feminist. I am by not far a feminist. I am what's right and what's wrong. I am what needs to, how things, there's an order to things. If there wasn't, there wouldn't be day, there wouldn't be night.
That's right.
If there wasn't, there wouldn't be good, there wouldn't be evil. There's an order to things. Things are in order. And when things are out of alignment, out of order, you're going to get chaos and you're going to get a mess.
Mm. Mm.
He said, were you talking about Russell Wilson?
Oh no, I wasn't talking about nobody in particular. I like Russell Wilson.
Okay. Or Scottie P said Scottie Pippen.
That's a bad one. That's a good example of a bad situation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a real good example of a bad situation. But I like Russell Wilson and Sierra. I mean, Russell catches a lot of flack. You know, he had him and Sierra were doing the 10 questions game, and the topic came up. What is your greatest fear?
Okay.
This is what she asked him. Well, no, he asked her, what is my greatest fear? This is like one of those how well do you know me games.
Right.
And he says, what is my greatest fear? And she said, well, not being prepared. And then he said, yeah, that's true, but there's one greater than that. And he said, and she said, what? Is it losing me? And she said, yeah. So he said his greatest fear is losing his woman. What do you think about that? What y'all think about that, family? He told his woman that his greatest fear is losing her. Now, he didn't give any, let me add some context. He didn't say to death or to another man, like he didn't specify. So very general in the game, my greatest fear is losing you. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think that when you are connected to a person, your person, right? Then if because we talk about this all the time, the 85% of your life is based, 85% of the success in your life is based off of your personal relationship. So if he's basing that off of his personal relationship and he's feeling like, man, she's a part of my success, that could be why. But we would have to know like some insight on, is this something toxic? Is he being codependent? Is this because she's helped him get somewhere? I don't know the story because I'm so not into the celebrity stuff. But why we need to know like the background. Tell me something about, I don't know who these people are.
Okay. Well, the rapper Future,
Okay.
he got Sierra, she had a baby with him.
Recently?
The baby's probably 6 years old now, 6, 7 years old, I guess, 8 years old, maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
And so they broke up, and then Russell Wilson took her, married her, and now they're raising Future's son. Now this caused a rift because in the fan world, because there are a lot of fans who took Future's side. For
Okay.
whatever reason, they decided that Russell, was less than a man because they like Future more than Russell Wilson. They think Russell is soft and all these other terms that I don't know. I don't know all the reasons why. I'm not really that connected to it, but I know that there are a lot of people who don't like Russell Wilson because of the way things went down with him and Sierra. And
Wait,
so I
so
think
was he cheating with her on Future?
no, no, Future was, Future. He's a rapper. He's a, he runs around like a young single man, and I guess he didn't take the relationship seriously with Sierra, and I guess at some point they broke up. I don't know who initiated the breakup, but that's what it is. She moved on. She leveled up, really, in my opinion, because Russell Wilson, this guy probably makes, I don't know, 20, 30 million a year or something. I don't know. A lot more than Future.
Wait a minute. So they are upset with him because he's taking care of a child that doesn't belong to him?
I I don't know if that's the only. I'm sure that's not the only reason. There are people who say that she's just with him for the money because once you've been with a thug, you don't want no square dude, right? And they look at Russell as being square. So people have these ideas and they put these parameters on this couple, and Russell will never measure up in their eyes, and Sierra will always be using him in their eyes. So they face a lot of scrutiny from people who just don't like the arrangement. I personally don't dislike the arrangement. I mean, hey, if it works for them, they look good together on camera. When they were playing the little game, I thought it was, kind of cute or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but I didn't, when it came to that question, I don't look, his first lady said, I don't think that's a healthy fear. Um, and I agree with that. I don't think that it's a healthy fear. And even if you do have that fear as a man, I don't think it's healthy to communicate to your woman that you fear losing her. I don't see the value in that. I think it yields a very unhealthy imbalance into the relationship because, to in keeping with the theme, um,
You can
it,
manipulate.
it leaves you very open to manipulation.
Yeah.
And
That's,
go ahead.
no, I said that's true. Go ahead.
But I like Russell Wilson. I don't have a problem with him. I don't have anything bad to say about him. I just thought that that was an unhealthy communication. I didn't think that that was something. I wouldn't encourage any man to tell his woman that he fears losing her. And I'll just even just to add something to that, I'm crazy about my woman. Everybody knows that I adore my wife. But if she was to ever decide that our relationship has run its course, of course it would hurt. It's not something that I'm looking forward to. I don't want to lose my woman. But if she ever decided that she wanted to part ways with me, she has my blessing because I love her enough that I want to see her happy, even if her definition of happy doesn't include me.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that.
I,
India Ari has some words in her song. One of her, I can't think of the name of the song, but it says that if he left me, I wouldn't be mad at all,
mm,
because what has happened in that you've enjoyed the time that you had with each other, and you know that is, if it came to an end, then is it supposed to? You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure out. It's a lot of things that goes into that dynamic. I'm just really, I'm really baffled at this whole thing. So Rika says some people don't like them because they seem happy and perfect, and always hate that. Russell isn't a thug. I mean, I don't know what's happening.
I don't have nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah. His first lady said if a woman said her biggest fear was losing her husband, the world would go mad.
They would.
They would.
Yep. Yep.
Yarly said she got him Russell Beta male just before he came into his grown man 27. She had a baby by Future Thug. She locked him down by having his children. But how did she lock him down and she not with him? I guess I'm sorry. I don't keep up with what's happening. On social media, drop and roll.
Maybe he means financially that Future is always going to be paying child support. Maybe that's it. I don't know. Now, I mean, look, there are, she says, Rika says, and a lot of people just think Russell isn't black enough, which is so toxic and problematic.
It is.
So people have, Yarly says she is alpha widowed. I'm not sure what that means. What does that mean?
Meaning that she had an alpha, but he's gone now, I think.
But see, I mean, I don't even know enough about Future, but I will say this: I don't think he's an alpha, and one reason that I say that is because, let's just take, I'll just use a small example. Molly Percocet, his song. That song was big, right?
Okay.
you're singing about Molly Percocet. You're promoting a drug, a recreational drug that is causing a lot of damage, and you did it for the money because you came out and admitted that you don't even use drugs.
Yeah.
So basically, you a hoe. The industry bought you. They bought your services. They bought your talent for you to promote something that you don't even believe in.
Because alpha means you taking care of things.
Alpha means that you're gonna stand on your square. I mean, look. First of all, I think the term alpha is overused, and
Yeah.
I'm not even sure that it applies to us as humans. And I'm not calling Future a hoe. Let me make sure. I want because I don't have a problem with that brother on that big of a level where I'm gonna call him out like that. What I'm saying is that's a pimp hoe relationship, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's a pimp hoe relationship.
Yeah. Daisy says, then Future should have been careful with his seed. Absolutely.
That part.
Spreading your seed all over the place over here because you sowing your wild oats. And then you want to get mad about it later.
He got a bunch of kids too, from what I understand.
That's what, yeah, I'm about to get there. She had Russell's kids. And then Rika says Future had about 8 children with 8 different women.
Yeah, I think he got a bunch of them out there. So that's not alpha male behavior. If such a term even applies to us, that's sloppy. That's reckless.
It is.
And one thing about, if you want to go here with an alpha male, you are very purposeful. And the one thing that you are going to be purposeful about, if nothing else, is your progeny.
Yeah.
Where you place your seed.
Yeah.
Just because the soil is fertile don't mean that it's going to yield good fruit.
Yeah.
And you're not sloppy with your seed as a quote unquote alpha male. And that's what that's pretty sloppy. If you got 8 kids by 8 different women.
Yeah, that's very sloppy. That was just being greedy.
Yeah.
Seeing how many people you can run up in. That ain't cool at all. That's like the lamest thing. And see, we need to get to the place where we are what's the word I want to say? We are how we talk about we want to make black love being cool again. We need to get to the place where we think that doing that is lame as all get out. It is lame to have 8 children with 8 different women. It is lame to have eight children with 8 different men. It's lame. When we got to get to that place of, and I want to be clear, not judging in a judgmental way where it's like, oh, well, look at you looking down on nobody, but get into the place where we're so steadfast on making sure that doesn't happen, because it's not a good look, that we're teaching that so that it doesn't happen. Back in the day when we were younger, we were so afraid, like you get knocked up, you get married, something happening. And you were scared to just be out there like that. Nowadays, folk is just having fun.
Whether you're a man or woman, it's lame to bring a child into an environment where there are not 2 healthy-minded parents.
Yes.
Period. So if you're a woman and you having babies and you don't have a husband, or at least a stabilized situation where they're going to grow up with their father, you lame.
Lame.
And the same thing with men. If you're producing babies in an environment that you don't plan to be in, that's lame.
Yeah. It is. I've been telling my kids since they were small. I told my son, don't be sleeping with women that you don't see a future with. As your wife, don't stick your thing in something that you can't get back. Because and now my son has been married for 4 years, been with the same girl for 8 years, and he ain't been, I don't know about his sexual life because I don't know nothing about that and I don't want to hear, right? But I don't recall him bringing a whole bunch of women home or them calling me up and saying this and that about them. And both of my kids don't have kids yet. No judgment to nobody else's who got it. I'm just saying that when you teach them young, and you talk to them young. See, we got to stop thinking that we're raising babies and we don't want to tell them certain things because, they can't hear certain things. Let those kids be taught how to be adults, because you're creating them to be adults with other people when you are done. They only have a small part of their lives that is children. You are teaching them from 18 to 70. When they had 18 years of childhood, or really less than that, like what's 13, 14, 15 now? Because at some places it's 17, you're an adult. So, and if you get pregnant at 14, you're considered an adult.
Yeah.
So we got to teach them how to be adults, making decisions and telling them things that's going to create that dynamic so that they're not making youthful decisions as adults.
Brother James says that's irresponsible and the kids suffer because of that. If you
Yeah.
can't maintain and sustain what you produce, then don't do it.
Then don't.
And that, that sounds so simple, and it really is simple. It's a very simple concept, but one thing that they've removed, or that has been removed, I don't even want to say they, but one thing that looks like it's been chipped away at, and it's almost gone, is shame. Like
Mm,
nobody's shame anymore.
nope.
And you got people out here just, I mean, they wide open,
Yep.
and I know, look, this is the older version of me talking now,
Yeah.
but I see what the elders meant when I was young. I didn't see it then, but man, nobody, they used to send, if a girl got pregnant, they used to send her away. You
Yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
I grew up in Chicago, and man, they would send the girl down south, you
And
know,
then she come back with a sister or a brother.
come back with a sister or brother.
You be like, that's your baby sister. Yep. That's your baby brother. Yep.
But see,
You
now
wait.
I think that's only half baked though, because I don't think that there was a corresponding amount of pressure put on the man who produced that baby.
Right.
So that creates a very imbalanced dynamic. But that we need to bring shame back, because right now, man, people are happy to express themselves in any and every kind of way, and it doesn't matter how destructive it is.
Right. Absolutely. Yarley says, no, Future is not an alpha, but when look at the men she had in her past, 50 Cent, Bow Wow, Harden, Stoudemire, Wires, nothing like Russell. We're nothing like Russell. She made a tactical decision with her life. Russell was the best option because Russell will continually make money long after his NFL career is over.
Yeah, and to that point, I don't think it's ever too late to get your life on track. And
Mhm.
and she was a young girl in the game. Like, I don't know her, right? So I'm just, like you said,
Right.
she made an executive decision and got her life on track. Maybe when she was with Bow Wow and Stoudemire and Harden and 50 and then Future, maybe she saw that once she got with Future, she was like, man, ain't no future in dating these type of cats, right? And so maybe then, I mean, she's a lovely looking young lady, so she had options. And so maybe she saw that, man, all these guys that I've been with, this is really not the way to go. So let me see if I can fish in a different pond. And
Yeah.
she caught one of the biggest fish available.
Yeah.
I ain't mad at her. And that is, look, they look like they have good chemistry on camera. The questions that they were asking each other in that little game that they were playing, it let me know that they do have a level of familiarity with each other that shows closeness, in my opinion, because
Right.
you wouldn't know the answer to those questions, particularly the way she knew the answers to his questions. You
Mm,
don't have that type of, you're not able to answer those types of questions with that type of precision if you don't share a level of intimacy and closeness that most couples don't have.
right.
So I'm not mad at them for that. If she leveled up and it's working for her and it's working for him too, hey man,
And that's my thing. I'm trying to figure. So they are married, right? 'Cause I'm
yeah,
still okay. So why are folk in married folk business? If they got married, they're doing the honorable thing, right? They're taking care of each other. Why everybody got to be in their business? Who paying some bills over there?
man, you know how we do. They got People Magazine on the stand. They got, we
Jeez,
got to be in everybody's business. You know how it is.
ridiculous. Yarlin says, "Me and we are not Johnny Appleseed. Both of you are correct. Absolutely, personal accountability and responsibility. Send herself." You want to start reading? Go ahead.
My lovely wife says, "Does it have to be about money though? Why can't it be because he's just an awesome man?"
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, that sounds good, but at the end, and I'm not saying that that's the only reason she's with him, but I'm sure it was a major attraction.
Yeah, she gonna be attracted, but that doesn't. I want to lean towards Desi because this the thing. When you're having those intimate conversations, you're not sitting there with a pile of money in your hand, going, "Hey, baby, you look." You're not doing that. You're talking to the person. And see, people miss those. I just had this conversation a couple of days ago. People have no idea about the decisions that are made with pillow talk. You cannot compete against pillow talk. Pillow talk is that talk that y'all ain't hearing. Ain't nobody hearing. You're not seeing how close they're becoming with those long hour conversations or those intimate moments that they're having when nobody else is around. You don't get to see the true heart of that person because you just see it from the outside looking in.
Look, I don't have a problem with women wanting. I don't have a problem with hypergamy, right? I don't have a problem with a woman wanting to be in a better financial situation. No more than you can have a problem. Look, it's disingenuous and it's hypocritical to criticize a woman who wants to be with a man who's financially successful.
Mm-hmm.
It's hypocritical if you're not going to also say, well, then the man is wrong for going for the most beautiful woman that he can get.
Yeah.
Because these are our attributes that this is what we fish with.
Yeah.
Right? Men, I would eat a sandwich every day and live in a one bedroom. I don't need. I'm a man of very simple pleasures, right? But the reason that I have some of the nice things that I have is because my woman likes these things.
Mm-hmm.
So I get these things to make her comfortable. I'm comfortable with a whole lot less than what her,
Less. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But I'm a big fish.
Yeah.
Look at me.
I told you. Didn't I tell y'all it was coming? So I had mine early on, and he got his on the end.
But now look, but my wife is as lovely as they come, right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, anyway. So these are things that
She deserved every last drop of it.
yeah. So
All
I'm not mad at her for leveling up and getting. Look, the lady is lovely,
Yeah.
and she could have really her pick of just about any man that she wants. And Russell, he's not a bad looking guy, and the brother makes 20, 30, however many million a year. He can get just about any woman that he wants.
And he
So,
chose.
and they chose each other. And so if they are able to find harmony in that, if she can be what it is that he's looking for in a woman,
Mm-hmm.
then she earns every dollar that comes her way.
Yeah. Let them folk be happy. These folk need to stop being haters and just let folk be happy. Just mad because you ain't got no man. I'm sorry, woman. Rika says, LOL, she loves that man. And yes, it was a better decision for him and her. He also was married before her. So, and then that's the thing. When you've been married before, you know what you want and what you don't want. Simple. You done been there, done that. No, I ain't doing that. No, I don't want that. Yeah, this is what I want. Yep, I'm strong on that.
I watched them on that little it was a little clip on Instagram, and I watched how lighthearted they were and how they have a playfulness between the two of them, and you can just kind of see the closeness that they have. And so money, even look, there are a lot of brothers out here who make a lot of money, a lot of men with a lot of money, and they marry lovely women, and they never get to that level of closeness that I saw between Sierra and Russell. Does that mean they're perfect? Hell no, ain't no perfect relationship.
No.
Right? But they do have something that it looks like on the surface to the untrained eye, they have what it look that a lot of people are looking for.
Yeah. And man, and shoot, when you go through this, his last wife cheated on him with his teammate. Oh, he is looking for her heart.
Hey. And so as long as Sierra stays clean, I mean, and look, I ain't mad at him.
Let them people be. Let them people be. So
Sierra has the type of look that the average guy ain't just you ain't really getting that. I mean, she has the not just the way she looks, but the status that she also has to accompany that. She's a star.
mm-hmm.
And
And she got her own money too, like Rika said.
Yeah, she got her own money. She ain't got Russell Wilson money.
Yeah, but she still got her own. So
but she wasn't hurting. Look, I mean, let's not kid ourselves. She definitely leveled up when she when she got with Russell. At least, you know what? Let me take that back because I don't know how much money she has. I don't know how wise she's been with her investments. I don't know. But
Yeah.
the general consensus is that she leveled up. But again, I'm not mad at that. Women do that all the time, just like men look for the most beautiful woman that they can access.
Yeah.
And it's really not if a it's much more about the energy that produces the money that Russell has than the money itself.
Right.
You see, and so
Right.
sometimes we get it twisted, and a lot of men are envious of other men who have the energy to produce what that brother has produced, him and others too,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah. And that's what matters. That chemistry is great, and you make each other feel good, and you're good to each other. Forget all this other outside nonsense. So what?
Look, hey, Russell could be a complete cornball. He could be corny as hell, and in many circles, people might call him lame. He could be all of that, and it might be just what the doctor ordered as
Yeah.
far as what she's looking for, because she's been through all of the hard, the hard guys, the thugs, the street dudes. She's been through all that, and she's looking for a soft landing from that harsh reality that she's been facing with all
Right.
these other dudes. So his corniness, his vibe, whatever it is that he is, maybe that resonates beautifully with her, and she couldn't have found a better place. I wish him well. I hope they work
I
it out.
hope so too. I hope they work it out. And he said she'll get half when they say, I bet he got a prenup.
If he's smart.
And so Desi said she got 20 mil and he got 115 mil. But let me tell you the beauty in that. That allows her not to be trying to boss up. There's a benefit to that.
Yeah.
Because if it were the other way around, she might feel some kind of way about him.
Is she family? Let me know. Did she have any babies with him?
That's what Yarley said. She had a baby. And Future got 40 mil.
Okay. Wifey on the detective.
Come on now. Come through, Desi.
So she did. So Sierra did have a baby with Russell Wilson. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's what he said up here. She had Russell's baby. She had Russell's kids.
Okay. Cool. Hey man, look.
Mm-hmm.
I would have a different response if all he was doing. Oh man, look at God. Won't he do it? Look, I would have a different response if all he was doing was raising Future's son. I would have a different response. But she had two babies with this cat, man. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
not
I mean, they had a whole family. Get over it.
yeah. So he about to. She's helping him to ensure that his progeny makes it into the next generation. And at the end of the day, a lot of us as men, we misunderstand this sex drive for we just want to let it off. We just want to shoot up the club, right?
Right.
But the reality is that drive exists so that we work to get our progeny into the next generation. That's really at the root of it.
Yeah.
And most of us, I know, we don't think quite that deep on it, and so we miscalculate, and we'll sow our seed wherever it lands.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she got a big button, whatever.
Yeah.
But the reality is, once you become a man of purpose, you understand that a large part of your path, your journey, is to ensure that your seed, your progeny, makes it into the next generation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
This was good. We've been on for an hour and 45 minutes. Y'all know, as usual, we always talk about. We love it that we're so thankful that you all have stayed with us this long.
Yeah.
Even for those who are celebrating the Valentine's Day, for those who are not, thank you so much, even still, for being here with us. Make sure that you are sharing, subscribing to our channels, our Facebook page at Vaun the Love Alchemist and Coach Michelamonè and His and Her Perspective show over at YouTube. We're trying to get those numbers up, y'all. I think we're something like 50 something now. So go ahead, just share it. Let people know that we're doing a good thing over here, and we want y'all to share. We've had a lot of downloads for our podcast though on iTunes. Spotify has been doing very well. So we are getting a lot of people to hear us over there. We just need you to go over to our YouTube page and show us some love, like, subscribe, and get that red bell so that you can get notification of all the videos that we're going to be doing, so that you won't miss what we are doing. And we talk about, making sure that you all understand why we're doing this. We're not just doing this because we're so fine, right? Even though that's true, but we're doing this simply because we really love helping helping people, especially with relationships, making sure that there's healthy relationships. And as my brother always says, making love cool
great again, fun again, cool again. Like,
yes,
look, ain't no such. Look, black love is the standard,
it's the
and,
standard.
and everything else pales in comparison. Pun intended.
Yep. Yarley says I enjoy these talks, making friends and making them laugh. Good point. Thank you so much, Yarley. We appreciate that.
Like, I was trying to share the link for our
For our podcast.
for our show. I guess I could do the podcast next time too, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to share the link for our YouTube page into the comment section.
Let me see.
I'll come back and do that, I guess, unless you can figure it out.
Let me do
for our
it.
YouTube page into the comment section.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm showing you.
That, I guess, unless you can.
I'll put the one for today, and then you guys can find that.
There you go.
And you can just subscribe to our channel. So this is the one for today. And then you can find our channel there. And then follow us and subscribe and all that good stuff. Share it with your friends. Make sure you do a watch party if you're able to on Facebook. Make sure that you see us next week at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you have a question that you want asked of us, make sure that you reach out to us. We have our number down here. It's I'm gonna read it in a second because I don't know about heart. 304-60-ASK-US. Because we will answer those questions. We want to get to the point where we're answering questions. We want to be able to be very helpful specifically to your issue so that we can be helpful and not just informative on this show.
Word.
Take us on out, brother.
Yep. Hey, look, yeah, like we say all the time, man, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. And for that, we are eternally thankful. We love y'all. See you next time. Peace. That was dope.